here some money for white male students. I'm joined now by the president of the former Majority Association for Equality, Colby Bohannon, and Mark Lamont Hill, professor of education and African American studies at Columbia University. Good morning to both of you.
Good morning.
Hey, Colby, I'm going to start with you. Let's talk about the $1,000 scholarship. In it, to be eligible, you must be a male, at least 25% Caucasian, and either be a college student or a high school senior with at least a 3.0 GPA. What brought you to create this scholarship?
Well, originally the idea started in 2002. I was splitting a one-bedroom apartment with my cousin Brandon. We were working full-time, going to school full-time, and we started to conduct a search for scholarships for our own financial aid. We applied to a couple. Unfortunately, we were not awarded any scholarships. We're not saying that's because we were Caucasian male, but what we did find during our search were dozens, hundreds, thousands of ethnically based scholarships that were for this group, that group, or whichever, but none of them were focusing on Caucasian Americans.
Right. You know, and Mark, let's build on what Colby's saying there. He may have a point here. There are scholarships for all kinds of racial groups and ethnicities. And we've got some of the data here. High school to college immediate transition rates. Let me show you this. Whites 72, Hispanic 64, and African American 56. This is some of what we're seeing right here. And First, respond to that for us, would you?
Well, first of all, being white itself is a form of scholarship. White people have access to school in ways that black people don't, as well as criminal justice, as well as housing, as well as health care, as well as food. I mean, we could go on down the list of social issues and that white people are advantaged over people of color and other groups. So to that extent, there's no need. The other issue here is that scholarships historically have been has been to respond to historical forms of inequality. That's why there are scholarships for people who are African American or Native American, because they haven't had access both financially or in terms of getting into the schools. White folk have never had a problem getting into schools. This is part of a spectacle that we see every year with affirmative action bake sales, with now whites-only scholarships, which only draw attention to white folk who are becoming increasingly frustrated with the fact that the world might just be becoming a little bit more fair.
Now, Colby, is it about inequality? You were shaking your head there.
First of all, I just want to thank him for pointing out the fact that since white folk, his words, not mine, have no problem affording anything,
white, right?
I'm going to go ahead and go to the bank right after I'm done with this interview. I'm going to go to the bank and I'm going to say, hey, I forgot that I was a Caucasian American. Can you just go ahead and throw some money in my account, please?
No, but what they will do is give you, statistically, you are much more likely to get a lower interest rate with the same credit score as I am. White men
our organization is not talking about credit scores.
No, but you're mocking the point as if white people are not advantaged in the public sphere. The fact is, if you had a felony conviction, you'd be more likely to get a job call back than me without one. These are real issues, and those things play into college admission. They play into college scholarships. This is about the purchase that whiteness has in public. It's a fact.
Colby, how many have you watched? Have you looked out? Have you counted the number of scholarships that do address the same space that you're trying to help?
To my knowledge, there have been a couple of different attempts to provide Caucasian American scholarships before. One was by a college Republicans group that really received a lot of negative attention and eventually got shut down. And I believe there was one individual on the internet that tried to make a stand, but these other groups were taking stances against affirmative action. They were taking stances against different things. And we're not taking a stance against anything. All we're trying to do, and it's very, very simple. People keep putting words into our mouth and intention in our heads. It's all it's about is helping poor Caucasian Americans who want to better their life and get an education, and that's the group that we're trying to help.
Colby Bohannon, Mark Lamont Hill, thank you both for joining us today. Charlie Sheen tweets about his twin boys taken